The moment that changes everything is not when you finally get what you want. It is when you realize that wanting was never the signal reality responds to. This realization feels unsettling at first because it dismantles everything you were taught about progress and success. You were taught that effort moves life forward, that clarity creates momentum, that desire fuels results, that if you care enough and push hard enough, the universe will eventually reward you. But reality keeps contradicting that lesson. Again and again, the biggest shifts arrive when you stop reaching for them, not when you stop caring, when you stop pulling. This is where people get confused. They think letting go means giving up. It does not. Letting go means releasing interference. It means stepping out of the way of a system that already knows how to move. The universe does not respond linearly to force. It responds inversely to stability. The harder you grip an outcome, the more unstable the signal becomes, and instability keeps things suspended. This is why so many people feel like they are always almost there, close but not landed, aligned but not arrived. The field is not resisting them. It is waiting for the signal to stop oscillating. Need is the most misunderstood state in manifestation. It often disguises itself as passion or motivation. It sounds like dedication, but energetically, need communicates lack. It says something is missing right now, and the universe mirrors the present moment exactly as it is, not how you want it to be, not where you hope it will go. When the present moment is filled with reaching, the universe reflects more reaching. This is the backward logic. The moment you stop needing the outcome to complete you, the outcome no longer has a reason to stay away. There is a subtle difference between wanting and being settled. Wanting pulls you forward emotionally. Being settled anchors you now. One stretches time, the other collapses it. When your internal environment is busy hoping, checking, anticipating, doubting, nothing stabilizes. Possibilities remain open, but none lock in. But when the nervous system relaxes, when the body stops bracing for arrival or disappointment, the field reads coherence, and coherence is readiness. This is why the universe often seems to move right after you stop trying, not because effort was wrong, but because effort kept the system tense. The universe is not testing your patience, it is responding to your attachment. Attachment places your identity in the future, and when your identity lives in the future, the present becomes incomplete. The universe does not chase futures, it mirrors the now. This is why things click unexpectedly. You did not suddenly become worthy, you became settled. Letting go feels dangerous to the mind because the mind associates control with safety. But letting go is not losing control. It is releasing false control. It is trusting a system that has been correcting itself long before you learned how to plan. Think about how clarity arrives when you stop obsessing, how answers appear when you stop forcing them, how people reach out when you stop waiting. This is not luck. This is the operating system revealing itself. The universe works backwards because completion comes before arrival. The internal state organizes first, the external world follows. Action still happens, but it no longer comes from lack. You move without pressure, you choose without urgency, and that subtle shift is enough to change how reality meets you. Once you see this pattern, you stop chasing answers, and when you stop chasing, the answers start moving toward you.
Once you begin to accept that the universe works backwards, a deeper discomfort shows up. If effort and desire are not the trigger, then control slips out of the hands of the mind, and the mind does not like that. The mind was trained to believe that thinking harder, planning better, and trying longer creates safety. But the universe does not read thoughts the way the mind thinks it does. It reads the body. It reads the nervous system. It reads the state you are in before you even form a sentence in your head. Every time you intensely want something, the body enters anticipation. Even if you label it excitement or motivation, the nervous system experiences it as waiting. Waiting is not neutral. Waiting says, "not here yet," and the universe mirrors that state perfectly. This is why so many people feel stuck in almost successful, almost aligned, almost there. The mind believes it is moving forward, but the body is broadcasting not yet, and reality responds to the body, not the story. This is where the backward law becomes clear. Instead of asking, how do I make this happen, the real question becomes, who would I be if this were already resolved? Not imagined, not visualized, lived, embodied. When something is resolved internally, the body stops scanning, breath slows, muscles soften, attention comes back into the present moment. There is no urge to check if it is working. That absence of checking is not giving up, it is completion, and completion is magnetic. Unresolved states create noise. Noise keeps reality fluid. When your internal world fluctuates between hope, doubt, urgency, and reassurance seeking, nothing locks in. Possibilities remain open, but unstable. But when your internal environment stabilizes, probabilities begin to condense. This is why the universe often appears to ignore people who are trying the hardest. It is not ignoring them, it is reading the instability underneath the effort. Effort says, I need to push life. Stability says, life can move on its own. This is also why letting go works so reliably, not as a spiritual idea, but as a biological one. Letting go tells the nervous system that the outcome is no longer required for safety. And once safety is restored internally, the universe no longer has a reason to delay. Most people misunderstand letting go because they think it means killing desire. It does not. Desire stays. What leaves is dependence. What leaves is the emotional contract that says, I will be okay when this happens. Backward logic means this: you do not receive because you want. You receive because wanting is no longer organizing your identity. The absence of need is not emptiness, it is fullness that no longer leaks into the future. In this state, action still happens, but it feels different. It feels obvious instead of heavy, responsive instead of strategic. You are not trying to influence outcomes, you are responding to what is already unfolding, and response moves faster than pursuit. This is where people get confused and think they must stay passive to stay aligned. But alignment is not passivity. It is non-interference. It is allowing the system to finish what it is already doing. The universe works backwards because resolution comes before arrival. And once you stop interfering with that order, things begin to organize themselves without force. The most fragile moment in this entire process is not when nothing is happening. It is when something starts to happen. This is where the backward nature of the universe reveals itself with precision. Reality never responds with noise or fireworks at first. It responds with subtle shifts. A message that feels slightly out of sequence. A delay that suddenly makes sense. A conversation that changes direction without effort. A door that opens just enough for you to notice it, but not enough to confirm anything. And this is exactly where the old reflex returns. The mind wants certainty. It wants proof. It wants to lock things in before they disappear. That urge does not feel like need. It feels smart, responsible, proactive. But energetically, it is the return of interference. The moment you try to secure an outcome, you imply it could be lost. The moment you rush clarity, you signal instability. The body shifts back into anticipation. Muscles tighten. Attention leans forward. The nervous system prepares again, and the field mirrors that shift immediately. This is why things sometimes slow down right when they felt closest, not because you failed, not because you broke alignment, but because the internal posture changed. You moved from being available back into waiting. Waiting always assumes absence. The universe does not punish that assumption, it simply reflects it.
Backward alignment requires stability after movement begins, not just before it. Staying aligned does not mean staying calm or emotionless. It means staying present. It means letting events unfold without mentally running ahead of them, without assigning meaning too early, without turning possibility into pressure. The mind equates involvement with control, but control is not what moves reality. Consistency does. Consistency of state allows probability to finish collapsing. This is where patience is misunderstood. You can be patient and still interfere. You can wait and still lean. The universe responds not to how long you wait, but to how clean the signal remains while you wait. Clean does not mean detached, it means non-attached. You still care, you simply stop orbiting the outcome. Your identity is no longer parked in the future, it has returned to the present where reality actually operates. Trust is not believing things will work out. Trust is allowing things to work out without supervision. Supervision is another form of control. When you truly understand that the universe works backwards, you stop monitoring progress, you stop checking your alignment, you stop asking if you are still doing it right. Those behaviors recreate lack because they imply something could slip away. Instead, you let the body settle into normal. You live, you engage, you focus on what is directly in front of you. And this is when reality accelerates the most. Not because you pushed, but because nothing is pulling against it anymore. Over time, something subtle but unmistakable happens. Life stops feeling distant, not because everything arrives at once, but because the sense of separation dissolves. You no longer feel like you are waiting for life to begin. You feel inside the process itself. The internal countdown ends, and when the countdown ends, movement speeds up. Opportunities appear through ordinary moments. Decisions feel clear without analysis. Conversations open doors without effort. And because there is no emotional charge attached, you do not grip what arrives. You let it come fully to you. Gripping collapses coherence. Allowing maintains it. Problems do not disappear, but they resolve faster. You respond instead of resist, and response is efficient. From a quantum perspective, this is probability finishing its collapse. Once coherence is sustained, outcomes no longer need to fight through urgency, doubt, or fear. They slide into place along the path of least resistance. This is also why gratitude becomes natural here. Not as a practice, but as a byproduct. You are not grateful because everything worked out. You are grateful because nothing feels withheld anymore. Even uncertainty loses its threat. It no longer destabilizes you. The universe does not suddenly start giving you everything you want. It stops feeling like it is holding anything back. The relationship changes. You are no longer trying to extract outcomes from life. You are participating in its movement. And this is the final understanding. The universe works backwards, not as a trick or technique, but as a natural consequence of coherence held long enough for reality to reorganize itself fully. Once you stop trying to reach the future finally has space to reach you. Stay where you are. Nothing is missing.